So today's the 19th, and I know I'm supposed to record on the 18th, but I couldn't do it yesterday. So sorry I missed the anniversary by one day. Um, I just couldn't get to recording. Um, whoops. Anyway, yay! Anniversary ish. Close enough. Um, I kind of was um, busy doing other things and everything, but I was thinking about it. I was thinking about, oh hey, it's anniversary day. It's here, however you want to say that. Anyway, I just got done walking for multiple hours. I am trying really hard to be consistent and do that every day because I want, top surgery, and they want me to lose a couple of pounds. So I am trying really, really, really hard. I looked it up. I am point 0.4 over. Point 0.4. So frustrating. Like, that you can be, like, denied a chance to have a happier rest of your entire lifetime based on a point 0.4 of a number. Like, that's so frustrating. But I am doing my best. I got my letters submitted. Everything else is done. This is the only thing left, or whatever. And waiting. Besides waiting, um, I was walking along the waterfront, and I passed something that made me think of a friend of mine, and how much that friend had impacted me and helped me. And that person still is semi my friend now to this day. We don't like hang out and stuff, but we're friendly. We say hi to each other a few times a year, stuff like that. But they were my friend way back in college, and at that point in my life, I was still suicidal. I was really messed up. I had just gotten out of, you know, living with my birth mother and was sleeping on my father's couch with no plan or knowledge of what to do with myself. And I went in to orientation um, for college with all these other kids who were like dressed up and looked nice, and there I was in a like really baggy holey sweater and baggy jeans and a turtleneck, and they were all hand me downs, and I looked so out of place. I was so out of place. And um, my fellow classmates later told me, they were like, what is this person doing here? um, Anywho, my friend, she's the kind of person who treats everyone the same. It doesn't matter who you are, she's going to be your friend. She's going to be nice to you. She's very kind that way. And I was very weird and awkward, and the other kids really didn't know what to make of me for a little bit. I was not social. I would spend my lunch break doing my homework in my car, sitting inside of it, and my car was a 1984 Cadillac DeVille, Ruby inside, Ruby outside. So it was um, it was really, really weird being around me. For everybody, this kid who my haircut was still when I had asked my father to cut off my hair with my scissors from fourth grade. Um, so my haircut was definitely not stylish. I was just happy to have shorter hair, but I had just started having shorter hair for the first time in my life and actually be able to have the liberation of having that. And I was just trying to get used to living differently than I had been living and to not be, you know, afraid. But I was still very much afraid, and I had never gotten along with other kids in school and stuff very much in my life. And I was used to being ostracized, so I just assumed that was going to happen and kind of ostracized myself. And she was like, no, unacceptable. And she and a bunch of the other students got together, got into a car, and I was sitting doing my homework, and they came up alongside my car and, opened the door and pulled me out of it and shoved me in the back of the car and were like, go, go, go. Like they kidnapped me, like actually, and made me go to McDonald's and have lunch with them. And I didn't really eat anything, even though they kept offering to buy me stuff. And I didn't know how to talk. And I just sat there really awkwardly, but I was so, like, happy to be invited. And she kept trying to get me to conversate with everyone. Her and, who later became one of my other friends, they just kept trying to get me to talk to everybody and to be part of the group and to feel like I was part of this big group of college students that were all hanging out together and that I was welcome. And even when we went back, they were like, now you're going to eat lunch with us every day, right? I'm just like, well, maybe not every day. And, she's like, and I'm just like, and we became like study buddies and, we would be in the computer lab a lot together or we'd intern together sometimes. Um, I remember one time she was interning and she got to basically house sit for the dean of the college. And he had like a swimming pool and a big, nice, fancy house and stuff. And so she invited me and one other friend over, and we were just being silly. And it was so weird to be in this like place that was so much richer than anywhere I had ever been, living in and pretend that we get to live there for a weekend or whatever, like, and be silly and eat whatever we wanted and stay up watching movies. And as long as we didn't tear the place apart, which of course we weren't going to do that, swim in a swimming pool just as friends doing like it the thing about this now woman, she didn't just treat everyone the same. She wasn't just like everyone needs to be my friend. She was very, things in life are worth doing just because they make you smile. And at that point, I had been very much in survival mode, and I was just excited not to be like getting abused. Like I was just excited to be like having my hair short and not living the way I was living before. And here she was, and she was like, eh, life's supposed to be fun, We'd go and try things on, even though we weren't going to buy them. And that was like the very first time I had ever encountered someone like that. Like we went to the fair, and we just wore these stupid, silly hats and acted like goofballs, and it it was like not something that I had ever done, so it was very difficult at first for me to do stuff like that, but I got better and better at it because she didn't give up on me doing that. And like during school, some of the stuff that had happened to me, very very small minute amounts of how much there was, but some of it came out, and she was so like supportive and kind and didn't treat me any differently. And other people treated me a little more like they were walking on eggshells, or like, oh, there's certain things that you need to be like tentative about or something. And she didn't change how she treated me at all, like not even slightly. And I don't know. I over the years have lost touch with a bunch of my friends, mostly due to them being kind of religious and me not falling in line with what their religion says. And she's never fallen out of contact or whatever. And she went through a lot of hard stuff. And For a while, I, d- I was worried she was going to die, and she pulled through. Sh I don't want to say too much, but in case she ever sees it, but I don't think she ever will. So I'll just say she's in remission, So she seems like she's going to be okay, even though it was bad. It was very close. And she's got a kid, she's got a husband, got a bunch of chickens. They live a pretty happy looking little life, and it's made me happy before sometimes when life was bleak, thinking about that. Hey, at least her life is happy. At least she still gets to be happy. For a little bit there, after college and stuff, she wasn't very happy, but she found her happy again, and she's always been, that kind of person. Like, even going through everything that she's just recently gone through over the past year and stuff, she did it all, like, in such a brave way, in such a inspiring way. She kept smiling and kept encouraging other people. And I when I when I do survival mode, I'm very serious minded about it, and it's get it done, And she's survival mode for her is like, hey, it's gonna be awesome. Let's have fun. She's always been that way. Let's have fun. Like, that could be like a motto for her. And I I was just thinking about, I don't think I've ever thanked her for being one of the people who helped, like, save my life and teach me that there's more to life than surviving. And so I was talking to her today. Apparently, where I live is like one of her favorite places in the world. So I sent her a picture and said, "Look, you were here today." That made her happy. But I was like, hopefully, things continue to be going better for you. And I'm glad karma came back to you, because you were definitely due for good things to happen. And thank you for being the kind of person who's kind to everybody. And I was like, hopefully just by being yourself, you can help save someone else's life. And hopefully it won't take them a decade and a half to thank you. I was trying to be funny, but she was just like that I didn't need to thank her, and that she always saw pain in my eyes, and she just didn't know how to help. And unfortunately, the way we had all been raised was a little restrictive to how accepting she wishes she would have been. But to me, she was the most accepting person, period, that I had ever met. So, um, like, just flat out. So, her saying that is kind of like, what? You wish you were more accepting? Anyway, but no, she's always been just a really genuinely nice person like that. So, anyway, it was nice to chat for, a few minutes with her. Um, Saw a bunch of seals today, and tons and tons of birds. But I walked all the way further than I've gone before, and I walked for longer than I've walked before, and my ankles hurt. But other than that, I feel good or whatever. But hopefully, I somehow can shed some pounds, because I have always had a low metabolism, and I'm fighting genetics here. um, I gotta get rid of that point 0.4 somehow. And it sucks because BMI doesn't care how much muscle you have. And I do have fat. Absolutely, I do. But not all of my poundage is from fat. Anyway, I'm trying. Um, as far as surgery goes, I don't have an appointment yet for a consultation. I'm on the wait list. They accepted my letters, but I don't know when that's gonna come up, when that's gonna happen. But my life is still happier than it used to be, and I still have a lot to be grateful for. And I still, at least I actually, you know, have a referral to the surgeon. At least I actually, hopefully, will be getting this going on and it will go well. Um, the surgeon has really, really good reviews. The only surgeon who locally seems to have better reviews is apparently kind of a douchebag. So, doesn't treat his patients very kindly at all. But he's apparently really good at the surgery part, so people put up with it. But I don't think just because you're desperate for the surgery, you should have to get treated like crap. And I am desperate for the surgery, but I don't think I deserve to be treated like crap to have quality surgery. So hopefully that doesn't bite me in the butt. Anyway, it's pretty weird. I technically started tea. This is a year, but it's not really a year because the tea I started with was really, really weak and ineffectual and didn't do anything. Like my testosterone levels were literally within the same ranges. I think it was 280 or something like that. I don't even remember what the number was. The point is it was if within ranges that I had already reached naturally of my body's own accord. It didn't actually move me above anything that I would normally be. So that was very frustrating. But thankfully, in December, it'll be a year. What? So here's to 10 months. 10 months on testosterone. I should do the voice thing. Hi, I'm Lil, and this is my voice 10 months on T. I have no idea if it's different than last month, but I know it's definitely different than when I first started. So that's something. Um, as far as changes between now and last month, I'm not sure. I really, really don't know if there's anything different between now and last month. Like at all. Still all the same issues as far as I'm aware, as far as like acne and smells and such. Still libido, still hairy, um, still positive health improvements. Still, I'm still not balding. Yay, head still shaped the same, I guess. Um, yeah. I'm not, I don't know that there's anything that has changed. Um, but that's okay. Um, because in case anyone didn't watch the last couple of videos, I got the referral for the top surgery and my letters submitted and they're all accepted and everything. I got my labs done and my testosterone is at 882 and my estrogen is still super nice and low and my estradiol and all that are still within low ranges. So yay. Which means that my body's still also probably supplementing this testosterone that I'm on um, with its own natural production, which is also exciting. Yay. My, you know, health is really good. I have great blood pressure, great cholesterol, great, my blood sugars are not even pre-diabetic. I'm doing awesome. My vitamins and my minerals are good. My, um, only things that are slightly off is, I can't help that I'm anemic. Um, that's always going to be a slightly bad, even if I'm taking iron and doing a good job, which I haven't actually been doing that great of a job with, and it was still really, really close to being good. So I was pretty happy about that actually. I was like, "Hey, cool. That's actually good." I am at the high number for blood sugar, but I'm not I'm at the top of the healthy blood sugar or whatever. So I'm not like perfect or whatever, but I'm still not in bad place for that. And my healthy cholesterol could technically go slightly up, but it's much better to have low than high of that. So I'm otherwise I couldn't be in more perfect health. Like I come from hardy folk on my father's side, and the hardiness seems to be in me. I was looking at myself in the mirror actually earlier today, and I was like, man, I really am shaped a lot like my father. um, like physically, I obviously have not spent a lot of my life looking at myself in the mirror, but so maybe that would have occurred to me sooner. But I'm shaped a lot like my dad. Um, I even have his back hair right along the top of. You probably don't want to know that, but um, but yeah, I look a lot like my father, physically, like in form. I thought that was interesting to notice that about myself. But yeah, everything's still pretty much the same as last month and the month before, even honestly. um, Still haven't been getting misgendered. Still, um, all that stuff seems to be the same. Still hate seeing my birth name on half of my stuff. That's still annoying. I got my voter stuff and it has my birth name on it instead of my actual name because of the whole name change delay stagnation thing. Um, but I'm trying to focus on what I'm grateful for and the happy things. And at least half my documents do have my real name on them. That's better than before. At least there's something. That's where I'm at. At least there's something. Um, at least nothing has reverted or stopped being okay or whatever. At least all of that's still true, I guess. Anywho, I think that's all I really have to say. It is hopefully just right now. I'm more focused on top surgery than like little physical changes and stuff. But I honestly don't think there really was any.